Welcome, everyone. My name is Cara Bradley, and I'm here to chat with our inner circle. It's a small group of people that join together once a month. We have conversations, we're online together, just chatting about everything having to do with accessing, realizing, awakening our fullest potential. And I know that word is thrown around a lot. I take it very seriously, this word potential, to mean our latent or dormant capacities. And when we are able to awaken those capacities, that's when we start to realize our potential. So tonight, what I want to talk to you all about is how to shine. I use the word shine a lot in my teaching. From my book, On the Verge, the subtitle is Wake Up, Show Up, and Shine. And when I first came up with the subtitle, my college-age daughters kind of rolled their eyes and they're like, "Really, Mom? You're going to use the word shine?" I said, I love this word shine. Shine could mean so many things. I feel like potential, when we use the word potential, it brings on a little bit more of a yang quality, a little more of gotta really try and force and do and create. Where I feel like shine, it's like turning on lights in your house and sending the lights up to their high voltage. So that word shine has a much more, there's a lot more to work with when we talk about shining. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But first, let's just review quickly what it means to wake up and show up. Because in order to shine brightly and to access potential, there's often a couple of things that we need to do. Not necessarily do, sometimes it's just undoing. So waking up, showing up in order to then shine brightly, in order to then create boldly, connect deeply, contribute on a wide scale or very, very intimately. What does it mean to wake up and show up? I talk about this a lot in my teaching. So firstly, to wake up really just means to wake up like you do in the morning. You know, you open your eyes, you're like, oh, okay, it's a new day. This is what happens when we wake up out of our habitual thinking patterns, out of our habitual emotional patterns. So often we get caught, we get stuck, we get entrenched in habits and conditioning. We don't even realize it. So you may have heard the story about the frog in the boiling water. I have to tell it again because it really rings true right now. There's a short story that talks about a frog, frogs in general. When you throw a frog into a pot of boiling water, now I've never done this, so don't try it at home. But when you throw a frog into a pot of boiling water, its instinct will be to jump out. It just knows something in its body. Shoo, I'm out of here. However, if you put a frog in a pot of tepid water and you heat it slowly, it will boil to death. And in many ways, many of us in our culture, in our fast-paced, busy, have to do, high pressure, culture, we are boiling to death in our busyness, in our mental habits, in our habitual reactions. We don't realize how much stress we're carrying until we pause or until we wake up. So how do we wake up? I give loads of ways in my book and on my app and on my podcast. You know a lot of ways. First of all, yourself. This is all common sense. Take a couple of deep breaths, go for a walk, splash cold water on your face, look up at the sky. Do something that's going to help you shift your state. That's how we wake up out of the patterns that hold us back. So that water that's slowly boiling for a lot of us is just our busy mind. It's the constant, repetitive thoughts. It's the judgments, the comparisons, the doubt, the fear, the ongoing conversation that we're having with ourselves all the time. I think it was Mike singer who wrote The Untethered Soul, he talked about the voice in your head being like a roommate who doesn't shut up. That's the boiling water. So most of us are just walking around in life held back by our thoughts. So waking up helps us to jump the pattern. It helps us to jump out of the pot for a moment to notice the world and what's happening outside of our mind. To show up is really to lean in, to engage, to be fully present. And a lot of times those words don't mean a lot to people. I teach a lot, and a lot of times I just kind of get that like blank stare when I start talking about being present. People are like, I know I've got to be present, but I don't know how. Well, truly we do know how. And we are present many, many times throughout the day. We have moments of presence. I call it aliveness. Moments of aliveness, when you see life, feel life, sense life in this high definition, very bright way. Those are the moments when you're present. And it could be during a delicious meal or a walk on the beach, or even just a drive home from work when you're watching the sunset. So wake up out of your busy mind, show up in this moment for whatever you're doing, taking out the trash, writing an email, listening to me talk. Just be here now, truly. When we do that, when we jump out of the boiling water, out of the busy mind that's spinning so fast or muting our experience, and we show up and just land in the moment that we're in, no matter what's happening, we shine. So here we go. Here we are now. What does it mean to shine? We can shine in an infinite number of ways. Shining doesn't just mean giving the keynote speech or winning the blue ribbon at the county fair. Shining can mean just truly listening to somebody who's speaking to you. Shining can mean making a really nice dinner for yourself or for others. Shining could mean being compassionate to your coworker who made a mistake. So instead of blaming, you just show compassion. Shining means being present, open, and available to life as it is right now. Sometimes shining means speaking the truth, like really speaking, being direct, and speaking the truth. So I have a couple of questions for you. And if you care to write them down, go for it. Firstly, how does it feel to shine? Just think about it. Give yourself a couple of examples. What does it feel like to be in your game, on your toes, like right in the moment with whatever it is you're doing? Oftentimes I'll hear energized, light, bright, happy, content, available, open. When we're present, when we're feeling fully alive in the moment, we feel really good, even if the moment itself isn't so good. So that's really important to know. When we're fully present, even if it's not a great moment, we still feel electrified. We still feel at ease in some ways and peaceful. So what does it feel like to shine? Just think about that. Carry that into your day tomorrow or today, depending on when you're listening to this. Second thing, where are you already shining? In what aspects of your life do you already shine? Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly? Think about it. I'll tell you a little bit about my day today. Today I shined when I taught a HIIT class, high intensity interval training. I felt like I was really on it. I shined. I was joyful. I kicked some butt. We had a great time. I felt like I delivered. I shined in that aspect. I shined for dinner. I made myself a really yummy dinner, eggplant parmesan. It was really good. I felt really good about that. Another way, I shined today. I shined by sending an outline for my next book to my agent. That was a really big step. Poof, hitting send was like, wow, all right, girl, you did it. So just 3 very different ways that I shine today. How did you shine today? When you start to notice how you're shining, you're going to start to notice it all over the place. And when you start to notice how you shine all over the place, it's like a little hit of energy. It gives you a little burst of confidence. And that confidence builds momentum. And you start to shine elsewhere. That I promise you. When you start to shine in one place, that energy shifts and you start to shine elsewhere. One more question before we close up. Where would you like to shine? Where are areas where perhaps you're not leaning in fully? Where would you like to shine? So a couple of things for me, if I could be completely honest with you, I could be a little more mindful with my eating habits. Sometimes I eat stuff I really don't want to eat, and I'm not that strict. I believe in moderation, so I have a little bit of everything. But sometimes I could be more mindful and just not pop it in my mouth. Maybe just pause and think about if I really, really want it or need it in the moment. So that's one way I know I could shine a little better. I think I'd feel a little bit better, a little less groggy perhaps sometimes. Another place I can shine is, all right, this sounds completely crazy, but to keep my car a little neater. My car is kind of messy, outside and inside. I just, I'm all over the place all the time, and I've got coffee cups and water bottles and just stuff. It's just not pleasant to be in my car. So, I'm giving you really simple things that are totally doable. And one last thing, let's see. Another place I feel like I could shine is in being more consistent with my blogging. So it's really takes a lot for me to sit down and write. I'm not a natural writer. I love to talk, obviously. But I think I could shine by being more consistent, maybe doing a monthly blog or every 3 weeks or so. So there you have it. That's how I would like to shine, but I'm not going to beat myself up for it. I'm just going to make myself aware and notice. So wake up, show up, and shine. Shining is accessing your potential to be bright, your potential to create, connect, and contribute, your potential to feel fully alive all the time. When you shine, you feel alive. And the more you feel alive, folks, the more others around you feel alive. I promise you that you shining is going to help others shine as well. So thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to next time. Send me some questions. Email me at cara@carabradley.net. I'd love to hear how you're shining these days. Take care.